Did you know that you can power an air fryer, an electric kettle, a cooker and a hairdryer all within the comforts of your motorhome, your campervan or your RV? Are you wanting to find out ways of being able to be off-grid for longer amounts of time, or for the first time to go off-grid rather than being on site but don't know how to do it? Then join us today on the episode about power banks. We'll talk about the basics of what they are, how they work for us, and maybe how they can help you. So Steve's here with us in Benson. Hello.
Hi.
Do you want to introduce yourself to people who maybe don't know who you are?
I'm Steve.
This is Steve, and he's the the technology sort of wattage voltage guru part of the pair of us.
Yes.
So I thought it might be useful for him to help me to help you give a little bit of an introduction to the very basics of power banks and what they are. So I guess the thing to do is to start with, what is this?
Very simply, a portable power source.
A portable power source, and you put them in your RV, your motorhome or your campervan, don't you?
Yes, anywhere you can carry it.
Anywhere you can carry it. So what would you say are uses for a power bank?
For either using maybe outside or in a motorhome or caravan where you want to work somewhere there aren't outlets or sockets, and it is completely portable.
It's completely portable. Fantastic. So that's the basics of what it can actually do and what it actually is. But would you be able to give me a quick rundown of the kind of items somebody in their motorhome, their van or their RV might want to use this for?
Anything from charging your mobile phone or laptop, portable lighting, playing a stereo, right up to maybe an air fryer.
So that's quite a comprehensive list of the kind of things you could use it for. We've had this, it's an EcoFlow Delta. We've had it for about 18 months now, and it's been really good. And what I will say at this point is we're not sponsored by EcoFlow or anything like that. We're not being paid. It's just that we've had one and we just wanted to share what we know, what bit we know anyway, because we're not experts, and the kind of things we've used it for. So what have we used this for in the last sort of year to 18 months?
We've used it for recharging laptops and phones. We've used it for an induction hob, basically for providing power where you need it.
No wires coming out of this at all. It's got a charger that it comes with, the sort of standard charger. If you're in anywhere outside the UK, this is the kind of plug we've got in the UK. A quick overview then of what kind of ways can you charge this up when it has run down?
Well, obviously with the house charger, that's the quickest, and then the facilities there for plugging into either permanent or foldable portable solar panels, or you can plug it directly into your cigar lighter in the vehicle.
So lots of people have already got these in their camper vans and the motorhomes, but there are plenty of people out there who haven't, and they will go onto places like Amazon, or they'll look generally, and it's probably going to be quite overwhelming as to which one they should buy.
Huge choice.
There is. So as a first starting point, how would somebody know which one to look for?
The first thing is, if you're going to be carrying it around, there are smaller models which are just big enough for mobile phones or laptops with EcoFlow, that's a river, and up to this size, which will handle things like a kettle or an air fryer. But you wouldn't want to take this hiking because it's the weight of a car battery.
It is very hard. And this is like portable, as in portable without any kind of wires in a vehicle. But there are portable ones for people who do want to take one walking, and maybe have a second one in a motorhome that if you wanted to go out hiking for the day, you could actually take it with you. Would you feel that's a good
Yeah, the smaller ones are excellent for keeping you charged for as long as you want, really, as long as you can power it from solar. And the smaller ones are very light.
These sound brilliant. They sound really, really good. They go anywhere. You can use them for pretty much anything. The fact you can use them for an air fryer is quite mind-blowing when you think about it, because when people have got, you know, big motorhomes and they want to live off grid permanently, there's quite a big lot of people doing that. But there must be some downsides to one of these pieces of kit. Some negatives there must be, surely. Would you say there are any?
There are a couple. It's quite expensive because it's basically lithium batteries.
Okay.
So it's this one equivalent now new is over £1,000.
I mean, cost is obviously
So cost.
individual to anybody,
But
it is quite a considered purchase then.
yeah, so it's the weight of carrying it around as well, and the charging time. If you're not using mains charger, then solely you're dependent on have you got the solar,
and is it sunny?
To charge it from the cigarette lighter, you would need to be driving several hours. I don't know what the exact hours are to charge it.
So a long time then.
A long time.
If the power's kind of gone down in it over maybe a number of days, then so that could be an issue. Quite a lot of products on the market then, as you've said. What should people think about when they want to buy one? Would you have, say, a top 3 tips that you could give me and everybody out there as to what to think about would be the main things?
Yes. Buy the correct size. Is it the right size to provide the power that you need? How are you going to charge it? And the third is, will it give the amount of information you need to use it
on the display screen?
On the display screen.
We've already said that this is an EcoFlow.
Yes.
So how powerful is this then, and what? To give it to sort of somebody who, like me, who doesn't understand the wattages and voltages, can you give an example of what this could do and for how long?
This is 1800 watts.
Okay.
So, for example, if you had a 600 watt travel kettle, then you should be able to use that for 3 hours, 3 times 600 watts.
So 300, so 3 hours at 600 watts. That's quite a lot of power in this particular one.
Yeah.
You were saying earlier that there's different ways of charging your power bank once it has got a little bit low or maybe a bit flat. You said there's 3 ways. You can use this standard plug charger or the cigarette lighter, or you can use some solar panels. Could you tell me a little bit more about each of those 3 methods of charging, just so people understand a little bit more?
Simply plug it in the wall, plug it in the unit. Takes about an hour to fully charge. The solar power with the correct lead goes into here. Obviously that will take longer, but it depends on how much sun you have. So a 200 watt panel might take you 10 hours to fully recharge it. And the cigarette lighter in the car, several hours of driving, but that will depend on your vehicle, but several hours to fully charge this.
Okay, so you were saying about this, and you could plug it into anywhere. I suppose if you're out and about and you're not near home, you're going to need somewhere to plug it in. So I guess if you were near a cafe or restaurant, if you weren't on site, you could probably just ask, you know, if you're going in for a meal, I'm sure they might let you sort of plug it in. And that's the beauty of it being so portable. For the solar power panels, you're looking at folding ones, I guess, or ones that you've got on your roof.
Folding ones, yes.
For anybody in their camper van then, or their motorhome, and they decide to go down the solar road, which is quite a big topic on its own, and it's one that people should sort of look into fully before they go and have a go at it. Would you say then, with using something like this, are there any safety considerations to think about?
Yeah, I mean, a basic battery safety thing is to ventilation first of all, and most importantly is whatever you're charging it with, it needs to have overload protection, which means in the same way as a fuse will blow in a plug, if you try and put too much power too quickly in, that will be the same thing as blowing a fuse. The breaker will break and it will stop it being overloaded and disaster.
So in a real life situation then, if somebody's got a solar panel, is adding another one a consideration?
Yeah, if it's designed to take, say, up to 200 watts worth of solar power, and you try and put 1,000 watts on it, then that's not going to do it much good. And if you haven't got a circuit breaker, it will damage the unit.
So it would probably fry your unit.
So this is internally got overload protection. This
one has. So I think the best thing to do is, when you're having a look online at the different products, do a search and put a keyword search in. You were saying earlier that one of the important considerations when somebody is buying one is to look at the display. here,
Yeah.
and that the display needs to have the information on it that they would find relevant to them. Can you tell me actually what that means to somebody who's looking to buy one?
Well, on the EcoFlow, it shows that there is 82% charge in this.
Okay.
And at the current use, it's 99 hours. We're not using anything. So, but what you need to know is when I've plugged something in, how long have I got to go before this will run out of power?
So basically you're saying it's about how many hours and minutes are left.
It's like having a fuel gauge in your car.
Yeah, so it shows how much time you've got before you're looking to plug it in again or put it on the solar.
Yeah.
So with all the use that we've had over the last 18 months with our power bank, what would you say has been the biggest plus in buying it? Because they're not cheap. You know, you put it into context, this cost us a lot of money for this one unit. What would you see as being the absolute biggest reason for buying it? And for maybe somebody else as well who's, you know, maybe umming and ahhing about, do they need one?
Well, it's a dual first, really. The portability and also the confidence that we've always got power.
Okay.
Even if we run out of gas, we can cook on an induction hob until we can get gas.
Until we can get
It's
gas.
like an insurance policy.
It is, because we are pretty frugal with our power. We don't use an air fryer on board or anything like that. I don't use a hairdryer, if you can tell my general hairstyle. And we do have an induction type hob. In fact, it's like a small electric ring. But we don't use it very often. It really is there as an emergency. And I guess some ways that's what it is. It's emergency, and it's confidence in knowing that this is going to help out when it's needed. And it's great because you don't have to go on site if you don't want to, do you then?
No.
I reckon how many days, if we were being frugal, how many days do you reckon that we could?
I think we could
put him on the spot here.
I think we could probably get 3 days worth.
And that's cooking on gas, making the kettle on gas, using it for phones, a laptop, and probably not much else. 3 days?
Oh, easy, yeah.
Easy 3 days, and maybe more if it was if we were just doing the phones and the laptop. More than 3 days, do you think?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So tell me then, what can you plug into this bad boy?
It's completely self-contained unit.
Okay.
There are USBs and USB-Cs, both slow and fast charging.
In fact, there's loads of them on this one.
Yeah, and then because it's got an internal inverter, it can change that to AC, so you've got 4 standard plug outlets and also a cigarette lighter outlet for whatever you want to plug into that as well. So there's everything 12 volt or 240.
I mean, you'd need to have quite a lot of things on board to be looking to use more than things. Could you then plug, say, something into this end and a USB into the other end?
Yes, because each end is turn on and offable separately.
Which is even better, isn't it? That means that you can have multiple items charging at the time. You could put your phone and your tablet in at the same time using 2 of the chargers, and this end you could pop your laptop in.
Yeah.
And then put the kettle on for a cup of tea if
you
run
don't
out of
need
gas.
to carry several different chargers, you just need the cable.
You just need the cable. Wow, that is a lot of use packed into this one machine. To recap then, having a power bank on board is about 4 things. It's about, number 1, it's the convenience of having the extra power whenever you need it. Number 2, it's being able to expand the possibilities of what you can actually take on board and the kind of things that you can take with you when you're off adventuring.
And then you've got the freedom to be off adventuring longer, off grid.
Number 3. And then number 4?
Number 4, the insurance, the confidence of having power in when you need it.
So that's our take on power banks, on our power bank, and we hope that you found it useful in some way. If you could leave some comments in the comments below, that would be very, very useful. Give me some experiences of, have you got a power bank? Are you looking to upgrade? Are you looking to get one? We'd find that really useful, wouldn't we? Yes. And we hope that you've enjoyed our episode today, and that you will like and subscribe and all that thing that we're all supposed to do on YouTube, and come back and see us again. But for today, we would like to say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, and goodbye until next time.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
bye.